Hey guys, in this video we're going to create leveling system for our crafting, and I want to do it in a modular way so later on we can reuse it for player level or any system that uses experience. So let's just go ahead and start. First thing we need to do is open our crafting widget. In here I want to create new box that will hold all the info that we need. So let's search for border. Let's add it to our main canvas panel. Let's resize it to maybe 450 and 300. I'll anchor it to the right side in the middle, so Control and Shift and click. Now I don't want to have it on the side, so it will be position X will be -50, and position Y we can just do it on the level with the other things, so like -250. Now I want to have the same color as this one here, so let's just select this border, the second one, copy the tint, paste it in here. Now this one also has an outline, so another border, so we'll wrap this one with border. Let's change the padding before the second one to 0. The first one for the top border will be 2. Now we'll get the same color as we have here again, so select this crafted item, copy the tint, go back to the first border and paste it in here. Now we do have the same box as before. What we need to get is this crafting level, so click on the border, select the text as well, copy it. Here we're missing a canvas panel, so let's add canvas panel and paste it in here. Now we need to anchor it to the middle. Let's do size to content. Padding will be 10, just so it looks bigger than this, and I'll change text to 16. Now I will just offset it to position Y will be -60 maybe, and then we need to add the progress bar, which will be our crafting experience. So progress bar, add it to the canvas panel, anchor it to the middle, Control and Shift. Now I want to have size Y only like 5, so it's 10. Size X will be 300. Fill color and opacity can be same as we have here, so just copy this color and paste it in the fill color and opacity, and just so we can see it, I'll change percent to 0.5, which is 50%. And now I need one more text, so search for text, add it to the canvas panel as well. This one will be anchored to the middle, so Control and Shift. We'll do justification to middle. Size of the font only needs to be like 10. Also need to be offset this time to +20. And this will be something like 10 out of 15, or that will be our experience. Compile and save. Now we don't have a experience or crafting level recorded anywhere, so what we can do is go to our player blueprint, and in here we got this handy stats component that handles all of that. So we just need to create new stats in our stats enumerator. Open that up, add enumerator. First one will be crafting level, and second one will be crafting experience. Save it. Careful, because we do have an experience already here, which were meant to be for a player. Now in the player blueprint, select this stats component on the side. Let's add a new stat. This will be the crafting level, and we will set current stat to 1, so it's not 0, and max stat to maybe 300. And you can set it to whatever you like, but I think 300 is a good number. Add another stat, which will be the experience, crafting experience, and we'll have 0 out of 10 to start with. Okay, actually let's put a 6 out of 10 just so we can see what it looks like. So compile and save. Now we do have these stats. What we can do is go back to crafting widget. We will need to create variables out of all of these. So select the first border that we created. This one will be the what will be the level or crafting level box. Check is variable. This one will be the text will be crafting level text. Progress bar will be crafting exp bar, and this text here will be crafting exp text, and check is variable as well. Now compile and save. Let's see what that looks like. Alright, that's all good. What we can do also, I want to hide it until we click on the button, because it's a little bit out of place. And I also want to transfer our crafting button to here, because there is limited space, so you can just move it. Select the crafting button, text, and crafting progress bar, Ctrl X, select this canvas panel and paste it. Now anchor it to the bottom middle, so Ctrl and Shift, and then select the button only and do position Y -20 and crafting progress bar -20. There we go, we transfer the button. As I said, we also want to have this box hidden, so we'll do visibility and hidden. We'll compile and save, and now let's set the information in it. So go to graph, in event graph, here on the bottom we can just create custom event. So add custom event, this will be set crafting level. First thing we want to do here is get that crafting level box and make it visible again when we activate this. So set visibility to visible. We will get the crafting level text. We will set text, and here we need to do append, so search for append string, then connect it to here, and it will say crafting level colon space. And now to get our crafting level, we do have this handy function in a player blueprint, so get player reference, and we will get current stat. Yep, get current stat. It will give us the stats component already, the reference, and we can just select the crafting level. Let's convert this to integer, otherwise it will be like 1.0, and then connect it to B. Compile and save. This is crafting level set. Now we need the crafting bar, so crafting experience bar, get it, and we'll set %. And here what we need to do, again we need this stats component, so copy this with the player, get current stat, get max stat, drag this back. The stat we're getting is the crafting experience, both of them. Set %. What we need to do to get the value from 0 to 1, we'll just divide the current stat. So divide by the max stat. So if the current stat is 5 and we divide it by max stat, which is 10, we'll get 0.5, and that is 50%. All right, and now we can just set the crafting experience text as well. Get it, set text. We will also need the append. Just copy it from here. And we can actually get the same one from here. So from the current stats, plug it into A. But first, let's do toInteger. And then this one as well. toInteger. This one will go to A. We'll do /, add a pin. And this one will go to C. Compile and save. And now let's call this crafting level event, and we will call it on when we press the button, our crafting button. So go to widget, crafting button, sorry. And then here where we on pressed, we got set button active, which is this custom event. It will do all this, like build stats, set crafted item. We will also drag from this crafting widget and set crafting level. Oh, clicked on the wrong one. Set crafting level. There we go. Compile and save. Now let's see. Click on anything. We got crafting level. The text doesn't work. I think I haven't connected it to text here. There we go. So we got crafting level is 1 and we got experience is 6 out of 10. Okay. And now we need a way to actually level up this system. So when we craft items based on the materials we're using, then we add the experience to the player. And for that, we need to create it in our player blueprint so we can reuse it. Create new function. This will be level up. And in here, to make it modular, as I said, we will create one input called experience. It will be type float, so how many experience we're gaining. Then we will create experience stat, so which stat it will go to, the experience, and it will be type stats enumerator. And one more input, which will be leveling stat, so which stat we are leveling with this. So in this case that we're doing this one, this will be the crafting experience and this will be the crafting level. Compile and save. Now what we need to do here is get our stats component, get current stat, then get max stat, and we're going to check if the current stat plus this experience, it will be greater than the max stat, because that way then we need to level up. So we're going to get this experience as a variable, just type it here, get experience, and we will check, so this experience plus at the current stat, if it's greater than the max stat, then we'll do branch B and click, connect it here, and we'll level up. So we will need to increase our stat, which is the leveling stat. So we'll get our stats component, we'll modify current stat, and if you remember this modify function, what it does, whatever value we'll put in there, it will add on top of the already existing value. So if you have one level, we will just add one here, and the stat that we're modifying will be the leveling stat. So we'll get it here, get leveling stat, and connect it. All right, so we'll level up by 1, but then also what we need to do is check if you have too many experience, so if you gain 15 and we only need 10, we will obviously have 5 experience left over. So we need to calculate that. We will drag from here, from the new value and plus our current stat. We'll subtract the max stat value. So out of 15 we will subtract 10, and this will promote to local variable, which will be experience over. So how many experience we got left over, and connect it to through branch and connect it here. And then once we have this value, we will get our stats component, so copy it, paste it here, and we will set current stat. The stat will be the experience stat this time, which by the way needs to be connected here as well in these two. So get experience stat. I'm getting it as a variable so we don't have to have wires all across the function. So connect the experience stat here, copy it, and connect it here as well. And then the value will be this leftover, so experience over. So now basically we gain 20 experience, we need 10, we will level up, and we will have 10 left over in the new level. Now on the false, so if you're not gaining more experience than we need, we will just get the stats component again, and we will modify current stat. And stat we're modifying is the experience stat. And modify again just adds to it, so we'll add this experience from the beginning. We got it here as a variable, copy it and paste it. All right, compile and save, and this is the simplest function for leveling up. But now we want to make it a little bit different, because every time we level up, we want to increase the experience that is required for the next level, because you don't want to have 10 always to level up. So what we're going to do is get our stats component one more time. We will get max stat. We will, what do we need to do? Set max stat. We will set the max stat of the experience stat, so we got it here, copy it, and the value will be, we'll again get the stats component, get current, get max stat that we have now of the experience stat, which at the moment, let's say it will be 10. So we will multiply this by 1.2 each time we level up, which will give us 20%. So if we need 10, we'll need 12. Then next time we'll need 14.5, then 17, and so on. If you want to increase it by more than 20%, you would do like 50% would be 1.5. And then we connect it here to the value. All right. So compile and save. What we could later on do as well, when for player leveling we would want to have this different modifier, we would create it as an input and just change it when we plug in the function somewhere. So that way we can have a different modifiers for each leveling stat. Alright, and then one last thing we can do is in before we can check if we are on the max level, so we're not adding the experience. So we'll do branch and click, connect it here, and we will again get the stats component, get current stat, and get max stat, and we will check if they equal each other. So if it's a leveling stat, we can connect it directly this time. So if the level is at 300, it equals, then we will set the experience. So we'll get this set current stat, which will be the experience stat, to 0. So when we're on a max level 300, we will just not be gaining experience, it will be on 0. I know some leveling system will have it that last level still gives you experience until it's full, like 1000 out of 1000 or something. And if you want to do that, you can just get the max stat value of the experience and then set it here to that value. But I like to have it at 0, so this will be true branch. If it's false, it will continue to the rest of the function. Okay? And obviously it only be checking if it equals, not if it's greater, because all this modifying won't let us go past max stat, so we got everything else sorted in those functions. And there is one more thing that can happen. Let's say on the early levels, if you're gaining much more experience than needed for the level, you would have to level up 2 times and stuff, and that might break the function as well. But instead of doing very long for each loop and everything, we'll just leave it at this, because for our crafting we don't really need that, you know, to check if we're leveling up twice, because we're gaining very little exp. But if you got different system, that might happen. But just so you know, we'll fix it eventually, maybe when we do player leveling. But for now this works perfectly fine, so we'll compile it and save it. And now we can just call it on in the crafting. We do have a function that crafts the item. So this one, craft item, or you can open it from here. And here, after we checking if you can pick it up, if the inventory is not full, after true branch we'll get a player reference and we will level up. Connect it to true, connect it here. So experience stat will be crafting experience and leveling stat will be crafting level. Experience we need as a value. We do have a function that already calculates how many experience we should get. It's this crafting experience, but we need to find where we're calling it. So find references by name. We're setting it here on a set crafted item. We can just drag this back and promote this to a variable called crafting experience. So every time we click on some item we want to craft, it calculates this and it will set it to new value. And you can connect this one as well here. And we will have crafting experience back in craft item. We'll just connect this crafting experience here. That will convert it to float, and it's all good. Also here we need to, in the end, we need to refresh our crafting, otherwise it won't show. So what do we call it? Set crafting level after we build crafting materials and refresh inventory. So compile and save. And I think that's all we have to do. Let's check if that works. Pick up some materials, go to crafting. So we got crafting level is 1, experience is 6 out of 10. This one gives 3 experience, craft it, and we got 9 out of 10. What I don't like is this widget being in a way. I think it's too high, so let's go to our notify box widget and fix it now. This one I'll move down to 150. Yeah, so it will start in a half of the screen, maybe even 170. So it's out of the way. Now pick up items, go to crafting, rock blade. So craft 9 out of 10. Craft again 2 out of 12. So our maximum experience increased by 20%. We got crafting level 2 and it all works fine. Alright. And that's all we had to do in this lesson. Later on we can, or in next one, we'll see, but I want to do upgrading the items. So we'll get some experience for that as well, and we can maybe switch between the widgets and have one widget for upgrading items and make it, but I just need to prepare it. So I'll see you in the next one then.